We are here.
Oh man, something just popped in my knee. Okay. Are we live? Let's see here. We are live. Yo, 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 yo.
We are live. We are here. Where are we?
Taipei.
Taipei, Taiwan. Number one. Today, we didn't have big news to talk about. We already covered the fights this weekend. We already talked about steroids endlessly. And at the moment, Tahric is doing the great work of building us a website. We're writing our introductions. Maybe it's a good time to introduce ourselves to you. Maybe you don't even know who we are.
Yeah, we haven't done this. We've been doing this for over a year, and we hardly ever say our own names or who we are. So I am Tahric Finn.
The legend.
Yes.
I'm Marshall Stamper. We are Jiu-Jitsu brown belts, coming from very different long paths to get here.
We both got our brown belts you got yours last year too?
Yeah. August 2022.
And mine was December 2022. We both talk about it. We both talk about it a bit in a video. Do belts matter? We talk about getting our belts, and
Spoiler.
We both have a little footage.
Belts matter.
In some ways, they matter. I mean, they're a good indication. But yeah, just wanted to talk about a little bit of how we got into jiu-jitsu and how we ended up doing this YouTube page and going into the website and what we've done so far. So how did you begin here?
Oh man.
How did you begin jiu-jitsu?
I was thinking about this. The first time I encountered jiu-jitsu, real jiu-jitsu, was in high school as a high school wrestler. And high school wrestling just sucks. It's so hard.
I can imagine.
I was tall and much skinnier back then. I had terrible posture. I was scared of everything. But one of the guys on the wrestling team, his parents owned a huge MMA school. At the time, it was a pretty incredible place. This was back in 2007 or so. So MMA was much smaller back then. But they had Rampage Jackson fighting out of their gym, a couple other UFC fighters, Rob Emerson, a couple other guys. Colin Oyama was their head coach. Team Oyama, that's like Carla Esparza and Chito Vera went through there. So I went there, and I saw my buddy. Go, hey, he's in jiu-jitsu class. He goes, let me try this on you. And we're standing up. He does a jumping guillotine. Mm-hmm. I've still never seen anyone do this move.
Yeah.
A standing, let me just try this on you. Just leaps forward, legs wrapped around me, grabs my neck, yanks. I feel my entire spine just lengthening. He was like, all right, thanks. I was like, what was that? I was so scared of the whole thing. I didn't go back to jiu-jitsu for years. Stuck with high school wrestling. And then it wasn't until I was in college when I went back to jiu-jitsu. This is maybe 5 years later. And it was just something always on my mind, watching the UFC, seeing how practical jiu-jitsu was. This was back before people learned how to defend jiu-jitsu. Imagine guys watching jiu-jitsu or watching the UFC now, they don't really get to see how dominant it can be. Jiu-jitsu in the UFC is kind of a thing of the past in some ways.
It's also because everybody is so good at jiu-jitsu now.
Right. Everyone knows the defenses.
It's a prerequisite now.
Yeah. If only a short time to work. But at the time, it was still, if someone was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you got to watch out. And so it was on my mind for years. And it wasn't until I was in college. College is such a chaotic, confusing time.
When was that around? When did you start college?
Started college 2009.
Okay.
And so I was just trying to party, trying to smoke a lot of weed, trying to figure myself out. And it wasn't very fulfilling at all. And then I stumbled into a jiu-jitsu school in 2012, Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu in San Diego. San Diego's full of these world-famous academies. Atos is there, and Keenan Cornelius was around, and so many famous schools. I went to Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu, this little place that does not exist not a famous place, not a famous teacher. Joao Kuna was there, and he was like this absent-minded master, comes in, leaves. And what I really liked about it was the only place I'd seen, maybe ever, where you walk in and everyone who comes through the door looks at everybody, shakes everybody's hand, and if they don't know you, they announce it, like, oh, you're new here. Nice, welcome. I had never seen that before. Especially it's the opposite of a college party, right? A college party is, kind of posturing and like if you're there, you're kind of in the way or competition or like just something uncomfortable, And even high school wrestling is a lot of posturing, a lot of like this could get violent and destructive. But jiu-jitsu wasn't like that at all, and I was so touched. And then we get there, start training, learning all this magic. And then you just fight your new friends. I thought this was like incredible. So I was there for a year. I got a green belt.
Yeah.
Which is like a really old school thing. That's usually green belts are for children, but I was 21 at the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of schools back in the day they still used to do the below blue belt belts, and eventually they phased it out for adults. But it was definitely a thing I heard of before.
Yeah. So I wore a green belt, and it was confusing because I went to a tournament, and I brought it, and they're looking at me like,
yeah, you do jiu-jitsu? This is
like you're a child.
This is not karate.
God, I'm gonna borrow a white belt from a guy.
Yeah.
I know you told me you had like a weird first introduction.
I had my introduction was I first saw like pieces of the UFC when I was in high school, because the first UFC was '93, also a great year for hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah, great year for hip hop. But I remember seeing Royce Gracie, and it sparked my interest, and I had always been kind of interested in martial arts, but my parents never were that interested in putting me into martial arts. I did soccer when I was younger. When I asked my parents, "Can I do Taekwondo?" They're like, "Yeah."
Really?
They didn't really pursue it, or maybe they just didn't think I was really serious about it, because I guess I had a lot of like, oh, I want to do this. No, I want to play the saxophone. No, I want to. So I think they might have just taken it as, oh, this is just one of those things that Tahric wants to do. And then when I went to university, in my second year of university, a few friends had started taking this class that they offered called Kihon Karate, which was a form of Isshin-ryu karate. So I started taking karate. But one of the leaders of this school, Kihon Karate in Windsor, Ontario, Norm Rivard, French-Canadian guy. His dad was a black belt in karate. He was now taking over the school, but he was really interested in MMA. So he started to introduce what we called ground fighting. And so
Ground fighting.
I went to a black belt grading, where grading in karate is basically you just get your ass kicked by a bunch of do rounds of just getting beat on by, I think you got to do like rounds straight. I don't remember if it was like 10 rounds straight. They don't punch to the head, they kick to the head though. They do rounds straight, 10 rounds straight, and then I remember there was something like 2 or 3 rounds of ground fighting in the grading. So they had to fight on the ground, like actually grapple. We learned
starting on the ground, like jiu-jitsu class?
Starting on the ground, yeah. When I was in the class,
kicks to the head still?
No. When I was in the class, we learned the close guard. We learned arm bar, and we learned triangle. And I think this would have been back in probably maybe 1998, 99.
Old days.
Yeah. It was so confusing for me. And I didn't like it because fighting on the ground was so tiring. It was so tiring and was so different than the stand-up karate that we were doing.
Stand-up karate looks cool, right?
Yeah.
It's what people think about.
Yeah, and that was it. So after I graduated, I left the school. I didn't continue with karate after that. Then I came to Taiwan I was here for a little while. I started doing some boxing, and then at the boxing gym, I met a few guys that were doing jiu-jitsu, and I thought, oh wow, this is something I was interested in. And then from there, I went to Taiwan BJJ, and I began, and
Taiwan BJJ.
I rolled in the first class. I remember the first class we were doing drills. This guy Frankie, French Canadian guy, he was like, hey, bro, we know you're strong. Just calm down.
That's good advice.
Before he killed me. Yes. Advice I never took. But yeah, that was my intro to first starting jiu-jitsu. So I had a taste of it from seeing the UFC, and then Kihon Karate. They incorporated the ground fighting, and then from there, years later, I finally got into a class at Taiwan BJJ. So, and that would have been 2009 was when I first started Taiwan BJJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I met you at Taiwan BJJ. Must have been 2013. That's when I came to Taiwan. Fresh white belt. Traded in my green belt. I told Coach Makoto, I was like, I don't know why they gave me a green belt. I had a couple stripes. He goes, okay, here's your white belt.
Yeah.
No stripes.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I really liked it, man. For 3 years as a Taiwan BJJ, fresh white belt, no stripes. I never got any stripes on my white belt.
Yeah.
I was going to, but like you have to go to certain promotion days. And I remember so clearly John Jones was fighting Daniel Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
This was back when in Taiwan they had the UFC pay-per-views just on TV. There was some crazy loophole in the system. And so I was like so certain. I was like, if it's a quick knockout, I'll go get my stripes. I went 5 rounds. Super worth it.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Like it's so nice being good at jiu-jitsu, like a couple years into jiu-jitsu, and no stripes, looking disheveled. Visitors come in all cocky, and you just wrap them up and smoke them, like tapping purple belts with like a nice white belt. It was such a nice. That was probably the nicest, coziest point in jiu-jitsu for me. Because after that, you start leveling up. There's expectations. People kind of hear about you. It's different. Things become different. But being a good white belt is nice.
Yeah, white belt was a really good time. I went to a tournament in Hong Kong. I got a silver medal, 2 wins, and I lost to a guy that got a blue belt on the podium. So I didn't feel bad for that. It was a good time, and that was. I probably enjoyed the white belt times the most, I think.
Yeah, everything is still magic.
Everything was still magic. There's less expectations placed on you.
Yep.
Right? There's less pressure on you. You feel really good anytime you can tap a blue belt or anybody. Like it becomes the best day of your life. And it was good. So the whole journey has been great. I mean, I did get injured, but I didn't get injured in class. I got injured boogie boarding. I had to stop. I had to take like a...
How do you injure boogie boarding? Like you hit the sand?
No, I went to a friend's wedding in Barbados. Boogie boarding, it was rough. The water was rough, so I'm tossed off the board and just rolling around in the wave, and the board just so happened to just hit me right on the heel. So
Really?
the board heel hooked me.
Heel hooked by a board? Like it hurt your knee?
I like it hit it was this one. It hit here, and I felt the...
Yeah.
And then I went to stand up, and I felt my knee give a little bit. And that was like 3 hours before getting on the plane to go back.
Oof.
So the last day of the vacation, but
It was a tough flight.
yes, it was tough, but it's okay. Yeah. So other than that, and I've been off and on quite a bit. I mean, mostly on. I got my blue belt probably after I thought I should have got it, You know, I think I was so
best time to
I was
get it.
so eager to, like, I'm seeing guys that start around the same time as me getting their blue belts, and I felt a little ways, but I never said anything about it. And then I think that was the blue belt was the last belt that I felt that I really wanted. Like I do want a black belt eventually, but the blue belt was the last belt where I thought, come on, my turn, let's go.
I deserve it.
Yeah. Like purple belt, I didn't feel that way. It was kind of, I was given it. It was somewhat of a surprise. Like I had an idea that it might happen based on the coach's behavior. I got it at PMA from Chris Ng. I was there for a while, and he did a nice speech before me and Mike got our purple belts that day. Yeah, it wasn't expected, and that was kind of like the beginning of the pressure of
Yeah.
Is it raining? Oh shoot. The beginning of the pressure of needing to perform or outperform lower belts. I really felt
Purple
that.
belt's pressure.
I really felt that with the purple belt, the pressure.
It's like responsibility.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have a lot of responsibility, and then brown belt I was not expecting at all, and I was not
Set them up.
and I was not ready.
I orchestrated.
I never felt ready for the brown belt. So even now, I still think like, man, this is a heavy. When I put it on before going to a class, I think this is a very heavy weight.
Yes.
A very heavy weight to carry.
Yes. Yeah. How did we get together? How did we start doing this?
So we got together when
Why are we doing this?
I went camping. Went camping in Miaoli, which is south of Taipei. And then from there, I thought, oh, since we're kind of south, let me go visit Coach Dimitri in Taichung.
Coach of the Bears Den?
Coach of the Bears Den, which was actually further away from Miaoli than I expected. I thought, oh, this must be like 30 minutes away. It ended up being a longer drive than I expected, but it so happened that Marshall was at his house when I got there. And, oh, I forgot one thing.
What's that?
2017, I moved back to Canada. I joined a school called Brampton BJJ, but I only lasted about 3 weeks there because I was doing a job in the film industry, which had long and unpredictable hours, and I just couldn't train anymore. I couldn't train anymore, so I stopped for 3 years. I had a 3-year gap in my training.
And in your mind, were you just done?
In my mind, I had always thought one day I will go back, but I had no incentive to make that day today, you know?
Yeah.
So I went back, eventually moved back to Taiwan, and back to this camping trip story. Went to Dimitri's house, and Marshall just happened to be there. You had just finished doing a workshop, like a rubber guard workshop. So they were hanging out at the house, and I was like, oh, Marshall, I haven't seen you in a long time. Where have you been? It had been years since I'd seen Marshall.
Years and years.
Yeah, because you left. When did you leave Taiwan?
This was like 2015, something like that.
Yeah, so 2015, and this would have been 2020, like beginning of the beep.
We can't say it.
I don't know. Beginning of the pandemic.
2020 time. You guys know what happened.
Early 2020. You know when that thing happened.
We were there to watch John Jones fight Dominic Reyes.
Yes.
A very weird fight, very weird day in the world.
Very close fight.
A very weird time in everybody's life.
Yeah, that was a very close fight. Very close fight.
I saw John Jones lose a fight.
Yeah, I
Kinda.
thought. Yeah, he might have.
I thought he lost.
I thought he lost. So I would have to rewatch it. I thought Jones lost that fight. Going into the announcement, I was sad. Like, oh man, is it over?
John Jones lost it.
Yeah, is it
Dominic
over for
Reyes.
Yeah. Is it over for Jones? But yeah, Marshall mentioned that he had these mats. So we have another guy. So it's kind of a small community, jiu-jitsu in Taipei.
Yeah.
So these mats I had heard of was on another friend's rooftop, and he had given them to Marshall. And Marshall mentioned, "Hey, I have Kurt's mats. if you want, you can come train. And it also just so happens that Marshall lived like a 10-minute bicycle ride from my house. So I said, okay, I'll come.
These are the kind of synchronicities we're looking for in life.
Yes.
Oh, you want to train? Place to train.
Yes.
Oh, we're in the neighborhood? Oh, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, perfect. And it could be in the morning, so I could still, like, it didn't really interfere with my schedule. So I started training at Marshall's. Actually, we were supposed to be training on the rooftop, but as you can see, well, maybe you can't see, it's raining a little bit right now.
Yeah, Taipei rains,
it just rains a lot. I think it rains something like 200 days a year in Taipei.
I would have guessed 400.
It rains a lot.
It rains a lot.
We had, Marshall had these mats on his roof, but because of the rain and because of commitment to training, we would move the mats down into his bedroom and move
Like
the
my tiny bedroom.
Yeah,
This
move
was
the
a
stuff.
$200 a month apartment I shared with these Nepalese guys.
It was a shared space, but we would move the mats into his bedroom, and then we would just try to kill each other. And in the beginning, I was getting killed. Like, what is this? Also, this was my introduction to leg locks. Marshall was already versed in the knee bar and heel hook game, and this had not been a big trend before I left Taiwan. Coach Chris, he started to introduce heel hooks a little bit, but I never got that good at it. One of the first things he was teaching us when he moved to PMA was heel hook escapes. But that was years ago, years past, and then that's how we started.
Yeah.
2020.
So I remember for like a long time we'd be rolling and I'd stop like, Tahric, what's this position? Oof.
I don't know.
Ashi. Oof.
Yeah.
It just took a long time.
Yeah.
But it was always fun time, you know. It's always good time to be training with a friend. And one thing I like about Tahric is very dependable, you know. Because I tried to have other people coming to the house. They'd show up 30 minutes late, or I'd be there on the mats and, oh, can't come today. But me and you, we've been doing this twice a week since the beginning.
Yeah. It's been 3 years. It's been over 3 years.
And now we film and invite you guys in on our life.
Yeah, and the video started, when did this video started? Maybe a year and a half ago. This is my second go at YouTube. I have another YouTube page called the Backpack Director, which I've kind of abandoned. It was me going around Taipei, Taiwan, showing things. So I started this because, I thought, hey, why don't we start filming? Because I like shooting video and I like editing, despite how time consuming it can be.
And I like being shot.
Yes, I like shooting and he likes performing. So I said, hey, I need something. I need to do this. I have camera equipment. I need to be recording something. Otherwise my mission or my purpose on this earth is not fulfilled.
And how about this? Does this help fulfill purpose?
This helps fulfill purpose.
YouTube
I don't know
Live.
what the goal is. Yeah, I don't. YouTube Live helps. I mean, I don't. So we've been doing more lives because it seems that people like to watch lives, and also sometimes the editing. I was doing the editing for over a year.
A lot of editing.
It's basically I'm editing every night until I fall asleep. And then to get up a video every week, I'm editing about 5 nights a week. 5 nights a week to do one video.
Yeah.
And
For $0.
For $0, just for the goal of consistency and the goal of reaching at least 100 videos, which I think we're at 80 something. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have to check and see which video we're at. Who is this? Twice a week. Sheesh. Kelly Morgan. Hi, Kelly Morgan. Yeah, we train twice a week. So we do we've been consistently training twice a week. The videos try to have one up every week. There was a time I took a little time off over the summer. Marshall went to Thailand, and I kind of made myself busy. But we did a long one in Thailand.
Oh yeah.
Which hopefully makes up for some of the break. And I have 2 more technique videos from Thailand that I haven't put up. One with Coach Luke White.
Ooh, it's a good one.
And one with Dan. I can't remember Dan's last name, but
Is he also white?
Yes, Dan White.
two Mr. Whites.
Yes, and they are both whites. two white guys named Whites.
So I had to check myself. Like that seems.
Yeah. They were both white. Yeah, Dan White and Luke White.
2 white guys named White.
And they're not related.
What are the odds?
Are they related?
No.
No.
They look like they are.
Yeah. They both have
two British brown belts.
they both
named
have
Mr. White.
European accents. But yeah, I have those ready to go. But so far the thing has been consistent. The thing, this
thing of ours.
The live has been consistent. We've also moved location, so because of the mats, we started off in the shared house,
Nepalese mansion
in Wenshan, and then we went to another house. You could see some of the old videos. It's in like a very nice solarium.
Oh, so beautiful.
The most beautiful backdrop.
Oh my god.
Even more beautiful than this.
Here could be beautiful, but the beauty's over there.
Yeah.
Or not covered.
Yeah, we'd have to like put the camera in a place that's not covered and maybe put some plants behind us. The solarium was nice because we had plants and a window behind us, which was nice, but
and covered from the rain.
Things don't last forever.
Rain and sunshine are the big things here.
Yeah, it's super sunny in the summer. The sun is like roaring sun, mixed in with heavy showers.
Yeah. So having that inside spot was super luxurious.
Yeah.
Here, the cover is exactly the size of the mats. so the sun comes in. So we roll over here. And if the sun's there, it starts cooking over here. And so we can avoid it for like, a couple minutes. But we do long rolls, right? So when we're not filming, sometimes we roll 40 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Around that 38-minute mark, it's almost guaranteed someone's face goes into the sun. Sorry. Almost every time.
So Kelly Morgan asked, what is your BJJ origin story? What made you start? How long ago? What belt are you? So Kelly, you
missed the beginning.
Yeah, we said some of these things in the beginning. So I will upload the whole video later, Kelly. And if you watch the beginning of the video, you'll see our origin story. We explain why we started.
Brown belts, watch the UFC, and what's the other question?
Brown belt, watch the UFC. My karate club did ground fighting. Then years later, through boxing, I started at Taiwan BJJ. Friends introduced me to it. And
that's where we met each other, Taiwan BJJ.
Marshall wrestling, got jumping guillotined, by a stranger. Taller. Yeah. And then he never stopped since. Well, he did stop.
Took 5 years. 5 years to get the courage to go back.
5 years later, he went back. But thanks for the question, Kelly. And yeah, after that...
How about you, Kelly? What's your origin story? What belt are you?
Yeah, tell us, Kelly, how you started. After that, Marshall moved to a different rooftop. So it was a spacious rooftop, not quite as picturesque, but a good amount of space.
Yeah, we had all these mats laid out, these ones.
Yeah. So we had double the space. You could have two pairs rolling at the same time.
Yeah. I taught class there.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then that ended. And then after that ended, we started training at a gym that I have near me, which was serendipity as well. I was just lifting weights at the gym, and I noticed, like, that yoga room, they have a stack of about 20 mats there.
Just like these ones.
Yeah, they had a stack of puzzle mats there, and I thought, let's just try it. Let's just roll there and see if anybody says anything to us.
Don't ask permission.
If they try to, don't ask permission. Let's just start rolling there. See if anybody has any problem. But all the coaches there seem cool with it. Some of them even asked, "So what are you guys doing?" Like, wow, that's really everyone was pretty positive about it. So we stayed there for a while, and that lasted up until you went to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then
came back and found this place.
Yes.
And I'm just so lazy. My dream is I wake up and make tea, and Tahric comes to my house. And he's very, very nice guy, very accommodating.
Yes.
And helps me fulfill my dreams.
Yes. So
I think before you come here, do you still go to the gym?
Yeah, I still go to the gym.
He's still at that same place.
I still go to the same gym.
And just leaves on my behalf.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still go there.
This is so touching.
So yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, so we were shooting videos of the gym for a while as well, which I liked it. It was a nice spot. It was also quite picturesque.
Yeah, nice big window.
One thing I did miss is how soft these mats are. So being a middle-aged man, I can appreciate soft mats, because I think part of the reason why I don't think I've ever been injured here. I mean, I get some ouchies a little bit, but I've never had any real injury that has taken me out. And I think a lot of it is from the mats, and the mats have a lot of give to them, where your joints have some space to move. It's not like being stuck between somebody's gravity and one of these harder mats. So I do love the soft
local
mats.
judo hall I went to for a little bit. They train on tatami, and they have these same mats as like the crash mats when they're learning new throws or doing something. So training on crash pads is like a nice life hack. But I never would have guessed. These are just a gift.
This is your
synchronicity.
Your Kelly Morgan. Thank you. 11 months now. White belt. I'm Marshall's Tuesday morning. Just subbed to the channel.
What's up, bro?
Oh, Carrie. Sorry. I'm dyslexic. I said Kelly. Carrie. What's up,
I
Carrie?
bet we had a nice young woman following us.
Yeah.
But it's
a dude.
What's up, bro? Yeah, so he's training on these mats too. He knows. Nice,
yes, Carrie. You know how soft these mats are. If you ever venture out into the wild, you'll see that it doesn't get this soft.
Yeah, he's training Taiwan BJJ Linko.
Okay, actually, Taiwan BJJ, I will say they do have good mats, because they do have. Yeah, their mats are a little bit softer.
At the main location.
The main location. The main location has soft mats. Yeah. Where else is soft mats? Yeah, because the original Taiwan BJJ, they had semi-soft mats on the main floor, and then they opened like a third floor mat, and those were like rock hard. Those are rock hard mats. Those are horrible. I hated it. I went to one gym in Canada, an MMA gym. That day, I had stitches in my hand, and that took me out of jiu-jitsu for weeks as well, because I had stitches in my hand. Somebody grabbed my wrist, and the stitches opened up. I thought they were okay, because they'd already taken the stitches out. So the stitches were already out, but I guess it wasn't fully healed. Somebody grabbed, and it opened up again, and I had to go to the hospital to get it stitched up again.
Yeah.
But
any cuts not good for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the mats here. The mats at that gym that I went to, it was a warehouse, so you had the concrete floor, and the mats were not this thick. They were pretty much as thin as you can get puzzle mats, and I just remember thinking,
you're on yoga mats.
Oh man, this is not good. Yeah, I was a purple belt, and they offered me a job there, which was really cool. It made me feel like, wow, this is something. But I had no way of adding to my film work. But yeah, soft mats. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been doing this YouTube page. When was our first video? Let me see. I'm gonna say a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago. I'd have to double check. So yeah, it's been good. But that's our origin story.
Yeah. And now we're getting a little bit of work in jiu-jitsu. You're teaching kids jiu-jitsu.
Teaching kids. I got a private.
Taught his first private lesson this week.
Yeah, I got. I have a junior high school. I teach at a school Thursdays. It's a 3-hour class.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
Jiu-jitsu should be an hour and a half to 2 hours. After that, can't learn that much.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour class. So I was very worried about it, but surprisingly, the kids are pretty into it. So it's been good.
Yeah. And so what are we trying to do here? More private lessons? Sell some merch? What are we trying to do?
Sell merch, possibly.
Should we make more rash guards?
Sell content. Yeah, we could get some more rash guards. Maybe if you guys are interested in rash guards, let us know. We're not wearing our Taiwan rash guards today, but anyways.
We didn't make these.
We'll see. I'm not exactly sure of the money-making path on websites as yet. Like I said, it reminds me of that South Park episode with the underwear gnomes where they say underwear equals cash. So to me, like website, I have guys around me like, man, you got to get a website. You got to get a website. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
He's building it. Well, one thing that we've had, a guy made this offer to us, and we did it, and it's really good for us, and I think good for everybody else, is like, after a tournament, win or lose, people have lots of questions in their mind. And so this guy sent us his videos. We watch them, and we make a personalized video with drills and our comments. Here's what you can work on, and here's how to do it. And I think that's a really good, nice business for everybody. So anybody who's watching is interested in that. We're always keen for that.
Yeah, if you have any footage of yourself rolling or any footage of yourself competing, if you would like some criticism, some applause, some things that could have gone different,
honest feedback.
Yes, we offer this service.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, if you're a coach and you're taking a vacation, and you would like Marshall to fly out, and substitute your class, he offers this service as well.
Sometimes. I did that in Thailand this summer, and it was nice.
Yes.
Worked out for everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'm doing it. I've been subbing classes in Taipei, and it's all right.
Yeah.
Can always ask.
All right. I think that's good.
We have more feedback from my bro.
He just says, I wish the mats were more slippery to hide my slack movement.
This guy, if only he believed in himself.
He subbed to the channel. And what else did he say? He asked if we teach kids no-gi. Yes. Kids no-gi, yes. I think a lot of, no-gi is okay for kids. I think one thing about kids is, and I've been told this by another guy that teaches kids. He says that he does both gi and no-gi. He likes the gi because he thinks that once the kids put on the gi, it gives them kind of like an official feeling where they know, okay, let's not mess around. I'm wearing this uniform, and a uniform gives you a job.
Yeah.
So I think probably if you're doing, one thing that I might encourage, even if the kids are doing no-gi, is to encourage kids to wear like a rash guard and proper gear, rather than just shorts and t-shirt. Like just the feeling of putting on a uniform.
Yeah.
The feeling of putting on a uniform makes you ready to go to work. Like, you put the leash on the dog knows it's time to go for a walk. Same.
Yeah, and it works for me too. I don't dress like this if we're not training.
Yeah. When I put it on, when I put on the rash guard, I know like I get a little bit of excitement. I get a little bit of nervousness as I'm putting this on, because I know what this gear means. If I'm putting on my gi, when I put on my gi and I tie on my belt, I get that same feeling in my stomach, like, okay, something something battle related is about to happen.
Time to focus.
I'm going to experience some discomfort. Let me think about what is going on in this space right now. Yeah. Also the whole entering the mat. Like I never this is off topic, but since we're just riffing, like I've never been with actually the karate school I went to. They were very traditional. They bowed often on the mat, but jiu-jitsu school, so Taiwan BJJ, was not very strict about the bowing often on the mat. But it was something that I found myself doing just because I have reverence for what can happen on the mat. Like I know that I can get hurt, other people can get hurt.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like an acknowledgement to myself that I'm entering a serious space.
Yeah.
And I'm entering and leaving a serious space. So yeah, not super traditional, I think, but it's a show of reverence for, and I don't always do it, but sometimes when I remember to do it, or when the thought comes to my mind, I will do it. Yeah.
I tend to bow on other people's mats.
Yeah, I never bow here. I never bow here.
Here would be a little weird.
Yeah, here is weird.
Bowing at home.
Yeah, here would be weird for some reason, even though the same thing happens here.
Yeah.
But yeah, when in most schools that I go to, I will tend to find myself bowing to get on the mats, but not always. So if you see me not bowing, I'm not consistent. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we done?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, all two of you.
Oh yeah, 2 people?
2 people. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, here's Derek Robinson. Here he says, "Slippery
What's up,
mats
Derek?
makes me hate passing."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hate passing. I'm like Derek. I pass standing up. I don't like the crushing pass. So yeah, Derek, I agree with you. I don't like slippery mats because I like to pass standing up. And Derek says, "I started off in the gi. It was overall more structured, but I like the grittiness and chaos feeling of no gi."
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, with gi, there's structure, and with gi, especially with things like lasso guard, little grips that happen right at the beginning of contact are just so consequential, like steps down the line, and there's no slipping away, which is what I like about no gi, is sometimes you can slip away from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Whereas in gi, if you make a mistake and I experienced this 2 weeks ago, because I don't do, not an excuse, but not doing a lot of gi, I sometimes allow too many grips. So yeah, a couple weeks ago I got caught in an arm bar because somebody had my sleeve while they were applying this arm bar, and there was just no way of getting my elbow out. Whereas if I was in
a slick hitchhiker.
Yeah, if I was in no gi, yeah, there are a few ways that I might have been able to get my elbow out of that position. But from the gi and just that early grip, and I imagine judo is the same way too. Like grip position, gripping early is so important.
And that little moment when you break a grip, that can be the whole match.
Yeah.
Break the grip, and what do you do in that split second? And it's very important.
Yes, yeah. Grips are also very important in no gi, but
That's the trick.
Grips are
People think there's not no-gi grips. It's not true.
They are very important, but
Wrist grip, head grip,
they're not
ankle grip.
A no-gi grip is not as permanent, and I think I have pretty good grips. So, yeah, like a grip in a gi, like, what do you call this? What is this guard called in the gi?
Spider?
Yeah. Some guys get really good at spider guard that their fingers become knobby.
Yeah.
And just from that, it's like a lifeline grip where it can become inescapable.
And these mangled fingers are really scary to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Carrie says he bowed going into yoga class this morning.
That's nice. Can really bow anywhere.
Yeah.
Start bowing
is nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Why
Let's
not?
do some Let's move around. You want to do more of that spider web?
Yeah, we're working on spiderweb escapes, just armbar escapes. We want to hit this nice hitchhiker escape, but we're scared.
Yeah, I'm so scared of hitchhiker.
Scared.
Like the release, the release and the roll. I'm not getting the timing, so you're gonna see. You'll witness some practice and failure right now. So.
And if we really get nervous about it, I might break his arm.
Hold on, one more thing. Did you guys see the ADC East Coast Trials?
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? That tournament is why no-gi is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a tournament I'd show a regular person.
Yeah. If you want to see some exciting matches, Flow Grappling has a lot of ADCC East Coast Trials recaps and highlights. One of the most amazing one is this guy, Kody Steele. He's this awesome dude. They call him the mayor of Suplex City. He's there just tossing dudes off the mats. And ADCC, one thing they do that's pretty amazing is they let fights go off the mats. They let go as long as you keep moving and scrambling.
Really?
Yeah. So they're way off the mats. They're like, people are like, moving out of the way. He keeps suplexing this dude.
There's still mats there?
I don't think so, man. I think they're on carpet. Like, they just keep going. And if you settle into a position, the ref will stop it and reset you. But this guy, Kody Steele, he's so smooth and chaotic that he keeps going to the point where he catches a rear naked choke way off the mats. It's awesome. It's great to see. Everybody loves it. Cool. Oh! And creating that situation, anything can happen in a jiu-jitsu tournament is fantastic.
Yeah, so Derek says Kody wrestled a guy on the carpet and subbed him there.
yeah, exactly. Awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Nice. All right. Spider web.
And we train.
Thanks for the comments, guys. Thanks for the convo. It's good interaction. Hope it doesn't rain on this computer.
So we got like 15 minutes of training. Work the spider web. Spider web is a classic EBI overtime position. So in the EBI rule set, if a match does not end in a submission, you can start on the back or you can start in spider web. So you will see a start in the spider web. And like I said, we're trying to work this escape. If you want to see a good example of this, you can look up Gordon Ryan versus Craig Jones in EBI. This is from back in the day when Gordon Ryan was really cementing himself as the king. Craig Jones was a little more of an upstart, and it's pretty wild. So Craig Jones gets his arm, and Gordon's trying to hit this escape. And we were talking about this yesterday. I heard that Gordon had broken his arm here. Tahric thinks maybe people throw around this word broken a little too much. Maybe it was sprained or popped or I don't know. But he was definitely injured in the process. And so that's why we have some fear over this move. But it seems to be a legit technique. Yeah, let's try it out. Spiderweb, hitchhiker escape. Can we do it? Is this the day I break Tahric's arm? Find out.
Let's do a couple slow. Oh, Derek, I hope you're resting that knee.
Derek, rest your knee, bro.
Derek Robinson, yeah, don't jump in too quick. Let's do a few slow ones to warm up. Spider-Man. Okay, go. Huh?
So nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, this letting go is constraining. Go. Give me a little more tension.
Little pop.
Little pop. Yeah. That was my shoulder. Alright, let's just go. Go to finish.
Yeah. Now it's real.
Okay.
Oh,
It's so hard. That might
this
go.
thing sucks.
If you guys got any advice on Hitchhiker Escape,
Comment. Is that white belts?
yeah, we're not that good at it. Getting better. Attempting to. Okay. Derek says, I was going to go trading tomorrow, but you guys are right.
Careful, Derek.
Careful. Unless you're going with other guys that you know well and they can go easy, don't be the go with everybody guy. Or lift some weights. Okay.
Who did it wrong?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing wrong. I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what. We're gonna look this up. I'm gonna look up more hitchhiker escape. It's a good thing to have in the repertoire.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a good chance to be the hitchhiker if I had the balls. right at that moment when you switched. I'm starting to see the windows, but I don't have the balls for it.
Okay. Tap. Okay.
So,
5 more minutes.
okay.
Ooh, tap. Oh. Bicep slicer, man. That's tough. This is hard.
It's all good. Yeah, it is hard. You're already in such a shitty position. The arm bar is almost finished here. Let's see. Too loose. Too much. Maybe the hitch can be chained together with other escapes. Shutting down the hitch escape by facing your hips, grabbing your leg. Yeah, that is right. Once you grab the leg, there's no more hitchhiker. True that. Okay, go again. Okay. So I think you don't have to be like so perpendicular. As long as you could turn the shoulder a little bit. And think of just turning your elbow. But yeah, but stopping the legs kind of stops that. I'll try not to make it serious. So here, so from here, just try to go hips down. There you're out.
Really?
Yeah. Once your hips, it's hard. Hips down, you're out. But yeah, it's hard in the moment. It's hard. So that's why we're getting it in the drill, but not live.
Faith.
Yeah, it's faith. Because I think because we were just doing the running man, but not so much concentrating on with the running man. This is kind of bad. Because once my elbow turns sideways.
Yeah. That's 12 o'clock.
Thanks, y'all.
We're all done. Taipei BJJ, Marshall Stamper, Tahric Finn.
Rest up that knee, Derek, or you could do some light rolling. Don't go hard.